Hello, my friend. Today, I'm giving you 3 quick hacks that you can steal so that you can stop eating what you said you weren't going to. Let's be honest, we've all been there. You told yourself, tonight I'm going to pass on the treats. Yet here you are, 8 o'clock, and you're negotiating, you're rummaging, and you might even be saying, just one bite. Or last night you said, tomorrow night I'm going to skip on having the glass of wine to unwind. So, how do you stop yourself from reaching for that thing that you said you didn't want and that you know won't help you in the long run? Let's get into it. But before we do, I'm Clarenda Price from Clarenda's Empowerment Coaching, and I help successful women get results by prioritizing their health again. Are you experiencing success in your career, home, or relationships, yet are struggling still with maintaining your energy throughout your day, eating out of habit, or losing fat, and especially keeping it off if you do lose it? Well, you clicked on this for a reason. So let me share hack number 1 on how to stop eating what you said you wouldn't eat. Welcome to episode 129. First up, give yourself non-food pleasures and rewards. This is probably one of the most underrated tools, and it's a game changer. Why? Well, if you're not giving your brain any other feel-good moments throughout the day, it's going to prompt you for food where it knows you'll get pleasure. It's one of the fastest and readily available resource for us. And food of any kind is right up there in releasing that feel-good neurotransmitter serotonin. Not to mention the more potent one of dopamine, which comes with an insulin spike, and then a crash an hour or so later. Your body isn't failing you. It's just doing what it knows to do. So why not make it easier on it, both your body and your brain, by getting out ahead of it, by giving yourself those feel-good moments throughout the day. It's so possible to do this without food. And I'm talking about unnecessary food. So meaning food when you're not hungry, or food when you've reached your full point and you continue, simply because it's enjoyable and pleasurable in the moment. You can make it easier by planning ahead, being purposeful, and adding in even simple moments throughout your day. You might say, but I'm nonstop. I am so busy. There are ways to sneak in even a couple of minutes if that's just stopping, pausing, and breathing. Or stopping, closing your eyes for a moment and thinking of what's coming. Thinking about how you're going to meet a friend this evening and have a chance to catch up while you get out and walk. Or maybe you're going to be playing with your grandkids or visiting them on the weekend. Thinking ahead of that will create that serotonin release, just thinking about it. Maybe it's doing a little work this evening on planning your next vacation or just talking about it with whoever's going to be joining you. Or simply knowing that tonight I'm unplugging, I'm going to curl up on the couch or outside in my lawn chair and read a good book. That's signaling to your brain and body that you're taking care of yourself, that you haven't forgotten about your needs. And these moments of pleasure or connection, they don't have to be big and extravagant. They just have to matter to you. They just have to align with your values, what you enjoy doing, and how you relax best. That's not going to interfere with your future self, with your future health, and your goals. I remind myself and my clients, don't wait until you're drained to give yourself a break. Give yourself at least mini charges before your tank hits empty. Because if you don't, your stress rises, your cortisol goes up, and that, my friend, is when the urges feel the strongest. Not because you're weak, but because your body is saying, please give me some relief. And it's trying to do so. It's trying to balance you unless you're doing it proactively. And if the most reliable source of relief you've been given it is food, then it'll go right back to it. Does that make sense? Can you think of an area in your life where you're getting in that habit loop? So to live a more empowered and healthier life, think of it like this. Give yourself some relief, some pleasure, some feel-good moments as you go along through the day. Not just at the end of it when you think, I deserve this or I've earned this. Hack number 2, hydrate and fuel. Don't starve yourself. This one might not sound glamorous or super original, but is powerful. Hydration matters more than people think, especially when it comes to curbing false hunger signals and maintaining your energy in a steady state. The well-known guideline is to drink half your body weight in ounces of water per day. Now, some people hear that and say, Clorinda, I weigh 208 pounds. Does that mean I have to have 104 ounces? That's like 13 glasses. And like I always say to everyone, you don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. And you don't have to start with the end goal. You can start with asking yourself, what can I drink today? Can I fill up a glass, an 8-ounce glass, and drink that a few times through the day? Yes. Okay. How many times? When can I do that? And plan it out. Oh, okay, I'm going to start with a glass in the morning. Even though I don't really like to, I'll do it. And then I'll have another one at break. Okay, I can do that. Maybe with my lunch or right before my lunch. Again in the afternoon and at dinner time. And maybe another one before 8 o'clock so you're not up too much through the night. If you're ready to feel better, I encourage you to just start where you are and build from there. But consistently build. If you're adding in one more glass and you're not seeing a difference, add in another and then add in another. You'll be amazed at how your body starts to respond. You'll have more energy, better digestion, clear skin, fewer urges, and you won't find yourself mistaking thirst for hunger. This happens so often because if you're not giving your body the hydration it needs, it will say, I know that she'll respond if I give her an urge to eat. And then I can at least extract some water from that for what I need to do. Also, please don't starve yourself. Skipping meals and cutting way back may give you a little quick fix, but it doesn't have great lasting results. It ends up backfiring on you. Your brain goes into survival mode. It goes into a stress state. Your cravings intensify. And before you know it, that late night snack just turns into a great big pantry party. Instead, fuel your body with real food, protein, complex carbs, good healthy fats, lots of veggies, and delicious fruit. Give your body what it needs so you're not having to fight with discipline and relying on willpower later in the evening. Hack number 3, connect with yourself and others. This one is both subtle as well as powerful. In social settings, it's common to just grab a plate or hold a drink to feel secure. That drink or that nibble is grounding. It becomes your safety blanket. And I get it. It's easier than standing around feeling awkward with nothing in your hands. But here's the good news that we have to remind ourselves. When we pause, when we take a deep breath in, when we focus on who is it here I want to connect with, that will ground us and something shifts. Just last weekend, I went to a farewell party, and it was held on a beautiful rooftop of their home. There were about 100 people there, and I only knew one, the host couple, of course, and then 2 other couples. So it wasn't exactly my inner circle. Of course, I recognized that I would feel awkward in certain moments, so I did some mental prep ahead of time. I visualized how I wanted to show up and how I wanted to be open and friendly and connected and not all in my head. And also, when I get in my head, that's when I'd be looking for more food or something else to drink to make myself feel better. And you may have seen some of my Instagram or Facebook stories that I shared. I don't know, I think it was at the end of the night maybe or the next morning. Even as I was walking up the stairs, I could hear the band playing, could hear all the voices, and I'm walking in there by myself, and I had to remind myself, we're not hovering around the food table. We're going to look for another friendly face, be friendly myself, and start to make some connections. I also wanted to remember my main reason for being there was to support and give a farewell to friends that I have known. Not super close, but I've known them, I think we thought it was 2007 or 8. But I also thought about the other couple that would be arriving. They arrived a little bit later. When they did, I, being the ambivert, had lots of stimulation, and we kind of went off to another area that was a little more private and had a really deep and meaningful conversation. And you know what? I was so filled up emotionally, I wasn't reaching for food in order to fill me up. And I didn't have any regrets the next morning. I didn't wake up feeling, my digestion all off and my energy low and fatigued. As I shared on that week's coaching call, was I perfect? No. I followed through on 90% of it, which was empowering. Had I not planned, had I not thought ahead, I maybe would have eaten because everyone else was, or because I felt a little uncomfortable. Instead, I didn't get home and be in bed at 10 o'clock. The party started at 6, but I was in bed at 11 o'clock, and my body didn't have to work hard digesting all the extra food that I said, no, thank you. I'm good. I'm contented, and focused more on who was in front of me rather than the food that was in front of me. What I did eat, I enjoyed thoroughly with no guilt. So whether it's a party, a hard day at work, or just a quiet night at home, find a way to connect with yourself, with God, with your family, cuddle your pet, whatever it is for you that feels grounding, that feels safe, that helps you realize that you matter to others as well as to yourself. That kind of thoughtful nourishment goes way deeper, way beyond than any food can give you. And if you're craving or looking for more connection with other women who get it, come join us. You can join at any time in the Feel Light, Mind, and Body community. In our weekly coaching sessions, we don't just talk about food or exercise or the scale. We talk about stressors. We talk about our wins. We talk about the emotional and mental challenges that we're facing each day. The things that we actually eat over. We work on mindset and building healthy habits and learning how to ask for what you need and give yourself what you deserve. We celebrate our micro wins, get coached over the things that we're feeling overwhelmed about or stuck, and learn from each other. You don't have to do this alone. Yes, you probably have enough information that you could. However, it's a lonely journey. And let me tell you, you'll go farther when you're not doing it alone, when you have a community that's there to help build you up, not just to support you, but also my role as a coach is to challenge you so that you grow, so that you can see a different perspective to get out of that same circle, that same Ferris wheel or hamster wheel of weight loss using the old diet mentality. A new lady joined last night. It was her first night because we'd had our consult the night before, and I could see her just easing into the group and relaxed expression on her face, and her words were telling me that she felt seen, heard, and safe. Everyone left feeling more empowered than the way they arrived. Making a decision is a first step in your transformation. You're signaling that you're worth the time and energy, the investment that you'll make throughout the week. It's a small percentage of the hours that you have to use in that week, but those hours are intentional and are true self-care, and it sets you up to have a life filled with vitality. If you're curious about what that could look like for you, let's chat. I offer a free 20-minute consult because I know it's hard to know, how will this be different? Is this right for me or not? And you know what? Maybe it's not, but I can help guide you. I have a great decision-making process that allows you to say yes or no. Either way, with that clarity, you'll know what your next step is. And that in itself is empowering and so nurturing. I'll make sure that I add that link to the show notes. Remember, change doesn't have to be hard. You just need the simple strategies and tools, along with the balance of challenge and support, to get you going and to carry you through until you get the results that you really desire. And we don't just commiserate and circle the problem so that we feel good in the moment. That's not going to move us forward. We acknowledge it, take the learning from it, and keep on moving. The goal is to inspire and empower. And with that weekly connection, as well as the optional Facebook group, which is private, keeps you connected. It keeps you going. It keeps you motivated. And guess what? You've already taken the first step by watching this or listening to this until the end. Thank you for being here. And until next week, make sure that you're getting out and enjoying that beautiful summer solstice.